stock car racers, a Sunday afternoon drive is more than a leisurely trip through the country. It's a bumper-to-bumper confrontation that pits men against men and machines against machines, with the common denominator the racetrack, and the rewards 500 laps away. MRN Broadcasting Company presents the Virginia 500 NASCAR Grand National Stock Car Race. The Virginia, brought to you by Daytona International Speedway, the world center of racing in the birthplace of speed, Daytona Beach, Florida. Martinsville is special to the race drivers as well. Richard Petty tells us.
It gets sort of back to the deal that we've been running here for 20 years, and it's like going home, I guess, to a lot of people. And, you know, you run some of the super speedways, and it's kind of a deal that, you know, you got to be so careful not to touch anybody. And you come to Martinsville, you still try to be careful not to touch them, but you know you're going to. And I guess maybe it gets back to everybody's lean years when they first started racing.
Here's your starting lineup for today's Virginia 500. On the pole in the Gatorade Chevrolet, it's Darrell Waltrip of Franklin, Tennessee, one of the bright young stars on the circuit. Outside is the 43 of Richard Petty, the undisputed king of stock car racing. Second row finds Bobby Allison in the Thunderbird. On the inside, Allison from Hueytown, Alabama. And on the outside, the gentle giant from Charlotte, North Carolina, Buddy Baker. Third row will find Cale Yarborough in the 5th position. In the Busch Beer Oldsmobile from the Junior Johnson stable. And on the outside is Lenny Pond in car number 12. The 68 of Chuck Bound from Portland, Oregon is 7th, and 8th is rookie Joe Milliken. 5th row finds the Purelator Mercury of Neil Bonnet. This is Bonnet's first ride in the legendary Wood Brothers Mercury. And running outside of Bonnet is rookie Dale Earnhardt from Kannapolis, North Carolina. Earnhardt already a winner on the Winston Cup circuit. 6th row finds the MC Anderson Chevrolet for Ellaby, North Carolina's Benny Parsons. And in 12th position is James Hilton in car number 48. We're about ready for a start, and on the green flag drop, it is diving into turn number 1, Darrell Waltrip from Franklin, Tennessee. Waltrip leads into turn 1 with Richard Petty closing in second. On the inside is Bobby Allison trying to snare down third. He's got it as going wide is Buddy Baker. Baker now finds 4th position up for grabs, and he slams the door on Cale Yarborough. Out of turn 4 for the first time, it's Waltrip, Petty, Allison, and Baker. Darrell Waltrip with a brand new car here for 1979 at Martinsville Speedway leads this Virginia 500. Richard Petty in the STP Chevrolet runs second. Bobby Allison from Hueytown, Alabama is third. One car going very wide in turn 2. That's rookie Dale Earnhardt. He gathers it back in and continues upon his way. Waltrip and his team named their cars, and this machine is...
This car's name is Dolly, and we decided to name her Dolly because it's what's up front that counts, and we hope she'll be up front a whole lot. We get real involved in it, you know. We talk to them, the crew talks to them, and come on, Dolly, hang in there, baby, you can do it. And, you know, it just gives us another part of the team effort, I think.
Well, there's trouble on one of the front runners. That's Lenny Pond in the Ken Cole Mining Chevrolet, and that will bring out the first caution of the afternoon as Lenny Pond makes his way to our pit side corner. Garrett.
What happened? I think some internal in the engine. The bearings probably, the oil pressure went down to 10 pounds. Now, I think there's no need of staying out there dumping it all over the racetrack.
Restart underway very quickly after that accident, and on the break it will be Darrell Waltrip continuing to lead. Waltrip with a fine hole shot has a 4-car length advantage over second place Richard Petty. Petty runs in second. In third is Bobby Allison. 4th is Cale Yarborough. Buddy Baker runs in the 5th position as they go single file down the stretch. Working some lap traffic very quickly here. Waltrip tries to swing wide around Dick Brooks, taking the high road out of turn number 2. Darrell Waltrip, a millionaire after 7 years of competition on the Grand National Trail. And Petty looks in his rearview mirror and finds Bobby Allison hounding him. Petty now tries the inside of Darrell Waltrip in turn 1. They're hub-to-hub out of 2. The contest is enjoined for the lead as they go to turn 3. Waltrip on the high side, and going downstairs once again is King Richard Petty. Starting into turn 1, Richard Petty is your leader. Bobby Allison Allison tries a similar move on the inside of Darrell Waltrip, and all of a sudden, Waltrip finds himself in third spot. Field rumbles into turn one once again. This time, the red and blue number 43 of Petty is out front. Richard Petty, who has not won here since 1975, has planked his SCP Chevrolet into the lead of the Virginia 500. Allison runs in second. Third belongs to Darrell Waltrip, but not for long. Here's Cale Yarborough, and Yarborough now begins to make the move. NASCAR's Winston Cup Grand National champion Cale Yarborough has won here 6 times in his career, and he has honed the art of driving the Martinsville Speedway down to a precise science.
Well, straightaways here are quite long, and the turns are mighty tight, so we come down the front stretch, and you drive as deep as you can into the first corner and have to use a lot of brakes getting into the first corner, and stay down as low as you possibly can. Back in the throttle as quick as you can, and let the car drift right up beside the wall coming out of turn 2 and down the back stretch. And turns 3 and 4 are just like turns 1 and 2, so you have to use the same method of getting in and getting off.
Does the wall come up very quickly as you come out of these turns?
Very quickly. The racetrack's mighty narrow, and it's just, you know, we're running pretty good rate of speed here, and it's
Trouble in this race. That's Neil Bonnet from Hueytown, Alabama, driving the number 21 from the Wood Brothers stable. He makes it to pit road with a right front tire down, and the Wood Brothers go to work to assist him. In the meantime, Richard Petty continues in the second position as they go to turn 1. Allison just 1 car length back, while running in third is Buddy Baker, and fourth is Cale Yarborough. But there's trouble on your 12th place machine. Hueytown, Alabama's Donnie Allison is out of the race.
Well, Ned, I don't know. You know, something happened to the ignition at first, the starter or something hung up, and I don't know what, but, you know, the motor just, the battery cable loosened the, well, it felt like it was going to do all right, but it started doing it again, and finally just quit.
Fifth place runner Darrell Waltrip comes to pit road for what has to be an unscheduled stop, and this will be costly. And now the fourth place Bush Oldsmobile of Yarborough is in. Waltrip is away and lost only 1 lap to the leaders, but Cale Yarborough's car has problems under the hood, and this stop will drop him at least 3 laps off the pace and out of contention. Richard Petty comes in for a scheduled pit stop, and the STP crew, headed by Chief Maurice Petty, goes to work on his machine. It's a quick one on Petty. They're through. And he comes back out to lead this Virginia 500. Trouble in turn 4. That's the Russ Dodge machine for Penargo, Pennsylvania's Ty Scott. He gets back on the racetrack, but this will bring out the caution once again. Service time for all the crews. Allison is in, as well as Baker. Yarborough comes back in once again. But Allison is away, but he looks as if, yes, he's going to pass the pace car. He will penalize the lap for that move. Here at the Virginia 500, it's car number 28, Buddy Baker, who has assumed the lead here. 8 years old from North Carolina, is the first stock car driver to have ever gone over 200 miles per hour. And he leads James Hilton now over Richard Petty, who runs in third. Baker, having earned over $1 million racing, now driving, and there's trouble in turn 1. That's Chuck Brown, who was running in 9th position. He pulls to the infield grass, and he'll be getting out of the car quickly. On the restart, the hole shot goes once again to Buddy Baker. Baker lengthens his lead to 3 car lengths over James Hilton. Hilton, rounding out of turn 2, closes it up, trying to challenge for the lead, but to no avail. Buddy Baker leads down into turn number 3. Trouble on Benny Parsons' machine. Parsons, who was running in 7th position, awfully smoky, pulls the car behind the wall.
The rear end had been getting hot for quite a while, and I
realized, I thought it was, but it wasn't smoke. But finally, when it blew, it just went completely, and it felt hot back there. And I told David, I said, this thing's probably going to catch on fire when I stop. So be ready to get me out of there and what have you. So everybody was ready and drug me out just quick as I stopped. But I'm sure if it had not been for fire extinguishers and what have you, the thing would have burned up.
The race continues with Baker in front. James Hilton continues to hold on to second. Petty is close to third. A spirited run for Buddy Baker thus far. And there's trouble on the front stretch. D.K. Ulrich, oh, look out. Very close as Tommy Gale gets around D.K. Ulrich. And the accident started when Buddy Arrington dropped some oil on the racetrack. Arrington is on the high side, just limping down into turn one. That will bring out another caution flag here in Martinsville, Virginia for the Virginia 500. And another trip to the pits for all the front runners. Restart time again. Hilton is your leader. Waltrip, now remember, he's one lap down, trying to regain his lap from James Hilton. Into turn one, this independent from Inman, South Carolina, leads. Buddy Baker has second. Bobby Allison, who's one lap down, is off the pace. Richard Petty is the man that's in third. And now Baker passes Hilton, and the question boils down to Darrell Waltrip, who's a lap down. Buddy Baker in the lead, and Richard Petty in second. Whoa, Waltrip goes high, and Baker takes over the lead and puts Waltrip a lap down again. Very loose driving here in Martinsville, Virginia. Richard Petty tries to close in turn four, and this time Baker goes wide. Petty is hub to hub, and at the stripe, Richard Petty leads. Richard Petty of the STP Chevrolet takes command of the Virginia 500. Baker runs in the second position. There's Baker's crew chief, Herb Knabb, and you can be sure that he's none too happy with what's just transpired. And there's Cale Yarbrough's car owner, Junior Johnson. It hasn't been a good day for his team, with Cale losing 3 laps early in the race. Tom Wolfe called Johnson the last American hero, and you don't realize this man's true pioneer spirit until you visit with him away from the hustle and bustle of a racetrack.
Junior, this is just so much different than what we see at the racetrack. It looks like it's really kind of special to you.
Kind of get away from it all. So on the racetrack, and the tension and stuff's so strong, so you got to have somewhere to relax and get away from it all. This is the best place I know. I bought the land about 10 years ago, I guess. I wanted to get me a place to where I could get away from the racing and peace and quiet and get away from the hassle of everything, so
You really seem to treasure the simplicity of this place, though.
well, I think what we treasure about it most is Boston. It's sort of, you might say, a once-in-a-lifetime thing that you always dream about. And now that we got it, and it's just our enjoyment to get up and spend the weekend and the quiet and peace that we have.
Junior, you're one of the pioneers in this sport, first as a driver and now as a car owner and chief mechanic and builder of some of the top cars. How much has it changed? Does that make it extra special to you, Junior Johnson?
Yeah, it has a sort of a new, I don't know. Not like anything else is how competitive it is, you know, as far as handling a driver and carburation of the car, and you might say the pits. Now, Martinsville, if you ain't really in the pits at Martinsville, you get a lap down and you don't ever get it back. And the sort of body slamming, fender banging thing, I like too. You know, it's hard on cars and it makes the crews mad and all, as long as they don't just deliberately wreck each other. I see them racing, and this part brings back old memories to me because that's the only way we ever raced in the past.
Everything that I've heard, from the cabin here to your philosophy on racing, is simplicity. It all goes back to keeping it basic, keeping it simple, and that seems to be the way Junior Johnson likes his life.
That's true. I just like the simple things in life. And, and there ain't nothing no simpler than I ain't nothing.
Petty continues to lead in his STP Chevrolet. Sizable advantage over Buddy Baker, and the crowd loves it. Turn 4. That's the rookie Joe Miller. Chevrolet back in just time. His way in the race. Now down to the final pit stop. Richard Petty with a sizable advantage over Buddy Baker. If Baker hopes to close, it will have to be during the pit stop, where seconds spent on pit road translate to precious feet on the racetrack itself. Baker is around. Turn number 4. Will he go to the pits this time? He does. He's on pit road. Curve nav goes to work. Petty crossed to Dave. Petty in this time. Richard Petty is in for his final stop. What will it be? Just gasoline. He's down and away. And Richard Petty continues to lead.
Nowhere.
Richard Petty continues to lead Buddy Baker. At age 41 and with 186 career victories, Petty is akin to golfing great Arnold Palmer with a legion of fans that cheer him on. He's the undisputed king of racing, and when you list superstars of sport like Pete Rose, O.J. Simpson, and Muhammad Ali, the name Petty belongs as well.
You talk about stock car racing and about the drivers, and there's been the comparisons. Are they athletes or aren't they? Your feelings as a driver?
Well, you know, I look at it from the standpoint as anybody else an athlete. You sit in the car, again, for, you know, 3.5 to 5 hours is most of our races. You're sitting in that car with no help whatsoever. You got to do everything mentally and physically to get that car around the racetrack. You got to be thinking about the competition, what can happen, what won't happen, what's going on. And on top of all that, if you make a little mistake, then they don't call a timeout and penalize you or set you on the sideline and let you watch. You know, they come out and scrape you off the wall. So, you know, you look at it from that standpoint, then you're the only athlete that really... The ball player goes out and plays baseball or football or something, he short of hurt about some ribs or something. Really up with a shovel or something.
Well, Richard Petty has shown his athletic prowess this afternoon. He has lengthened his margin over Buddy Baker. Seconds as we reach the final moment. Virginia. Time is running out for Buddy Baker. But for Petty, it could be his first win on a short track since 1975. Petty down for the final time as the white flag last lap signal is out. Down the backstretch, the STP Chevrolet is high, wide, and handsome. Out of turn 4, Richard Petty comes to the stripe, and he will win the Virginia 500. Checkered flag is out. Petty wins. Finishing in second is Buddy Baker. Third position to Darrell Waltrip. Bobby Allison finishes in 4th, and Joe Milliken finishes in the 5th spot. The margin of victory, 4 seconds, and the average speed, 76.562 miles per hour. And look, the first driver to congratulate Petty is the second-place finisher, Baker. Petty makes his way to victory lane, and to our trackside correspondent, Ned Jarrett.
Richard, congratulations on a fine run here this afternoon.
Yeah, man, Ned, it's a tough deal. I tell you, I'm tired. I'm just going to talk to you in here.
Well, that's okay. Sit still and rest. You know, it's been a long time since you've been in victory lane on the short track.
Yeah, I know it. I think they said 75, and it's been a long time up here. And, you know, we used to win pretty regular up here, and it's been a long time since we won up here. The track was our liking today. It was good and slick, and all day long. And we really couldn't outrun anybody, but we got all the brakes we needed, and things worked out just right.